Podcast Affirmation, back with a bang. My name is Sizwe Plose. Today, sivizithwe uLebu Kunguluza, usomabhizinisi-ke lo, usomabhizinisi onohlonze, but into ehlanganisile today ibhuku elisanda kuphuma lakhe, i-Art of Entrepreneurship. I understand that if you're a young entrepreneur there or aspiring entrepreneur, le show le, I think izokunceda kakhulu ukuthi kuthathe ikise phambili. Angibingelele kuLebu Kunguluza, unjani my brother? Are you good?
Baba, how you doing?
I can see that you look nice and strong. And then I don't sibe le conversation yethu mina ngiyazi ukuthi sikwazi ke into eziningi yabona omunye wodakhe abavula a black club before kube fashionable. Understand? Lebu, tell me ijeni yakho yasebhizinisini nje iqala kuphi? Yes, maybe it's gonna take hours, but smoke cha.
Chopper.
Yeah, sure.
So ijeni yethu isuka kude kakhulu, right? Yeah, nangizalule PE, but I'm Sotho and Tswana, but ngikhulele lapha PE, and the family yami engikhulile kuyo was always entrepreneurial. Ngaqala ngisemncane this entrepreneurship journey ngithengisa ama-sweets, tuck shop, ifamily yethu ihamba iyothenga istock, cash and carry, wholesale, ngithengisa ama-sweet, and I grew up in that culture. And then after a while ngaya esikolweni, boarding school, ngaqeda boarding school, ubaba wami washona ngisena 6 years old, so khange be exposed kakhulu kuye yabo, because he was a lawyer, but yeah, washona ngisemncane sakhuliswa ngumama wethu. So umama wethu ubengakhona usikhulisa kahle, so kufanele ukuthi sizabalaze sibheke ukuthi sikhula kanjani so that we can finish our studies. It was very tough. So mangifika kwi-high school repeated isikolo about 3 times. So because I'm a boycotts and all of that, and no change my school. Not slow learner, it's some politics, I'm a boycotts. So wathatha imali le kwafuna ukuthi ngiyisebenzise for university, wangifaka kwi-private school. So I was the oldest child class in school. So bangithiza, and then basiqeda grade 12, ngazitshela one thing ukuthi I don't want to suffer the last 20 years indlela engisuffer that the way I suffered. And I can assume that ukuthi baningi abantu who have the same ideas ukuthi no one wants to suffer in this life. This life is too short. And you want to live the best life in the little time that you've got, but by the grace of God, at least ngafika ku-matric, I was the oldest child in class. I'm a black boy in class. Yeah, well, it was not nice. Ngazitshela ukuthi mina by the age of 25 ngifuna ukuba millionaire, age of 35 ngifuna ukuba multi-millionaire, age of 45 ngifuna ukuba billionaire. So ngazitshela ukuthi I'm going to give myself isikhathi ukuthi ngi-achieve these things. So at the age of 27, I had made my first million through an event, an entertainment event called the Kwaito Storm. And lapho ke, because of that entrepreneurship culture bengifumene, through my creativity, ngenza ke my first million. I made 1.6 million from a project, the artist, basically concert, a show, where I used an artist being a manager through Kunguluza Entertainment, and then I battered in nama radio stations, nama what, ngena mali, but I still cracked it against my first million. And then goal is meaning I crack at the age of 34, where now being set up with corporate, because ngafumana ukuthi you know what mawuthenga amatikiti to individuals about 400 rands, you have to have 15,000 people in order to make 1.5 million, which is what I did on the first show, But over the years, I learned to go to know, but you can change things around. You can sell tickets at 6,500 and they have 1,000 people or 2,000 people coming instead of 15,000 people, and you can make 10 times that money. So that's what I did. At the age of 34, I made about 14, 15 million from a conference year 2010. That's when then I reached my second goal of being, and then I invested in a hotel group. That hotel group, guy is a 25% owner. So manje, that hotel group is worth about 1.2 billion. I'm a 40% owner. That's why manje evaluation yami is about 460 million. So my net worth is 460 million manje. Yeah, so that was evaluated obviously by a couple of sources, but that's where I am now. And obviously COVID gave us a tough time, so but we are still rebuilding again. But yeah, I think in the next 3-4 years I should be able to reach that third goal. I did not reach the third goal, but I think if I'm sitting at 500 million, that means I'm always
Almost
halfway.
there,
Yeah.
Yo, a good story to tell you. I want to say motivator. And I'm checking this thing of ads of entrepreneurship. Let's just get to that one because it's quite interesting as well. Ukuthi ube ku the situation yokuthi manje you are putting together a book. Engicabanga ukuthi iphume today, arrive today in Durban.
Yes, today. The idea behind the book is that obviously I think most people have heard about my story and how I built the business from nothing. I've never had anyone invest in me or whatsoever. So I did a project in 2012 called 12-12-12, where every year I would recruit 12 young entrepreneurs. I would groom them and show them my formula of how I did what I did so that you can pull the rest of the other Black young people into the same space and then share with them what you've learned and what you've grown. And you know, mentorship is very, very important because it short circuits the time that you make mistakes. So then I did this project. So every year I recruited 10, 12 entrepreneurs. I spent a bit of money on them. I invested about 8 million over the 5 years on them. And I think 6 of them became millionaires. And one of them stays actually here in Durban and works here in Durban.
And he's a millionaire now.
He's done extremely well, exceptionally well. And they all came under that mentorship program. But I said to myself, I don't want to limit what I've taught those guys to only 48 people. I wanted to reach the rest of the country so that a lot of young people around the country can learn this formula. My formula is very simple, is to say, look, most of us as Black people, we were never born with money. You know, we never got, inheritance or whatsoever. So when we start businesses, we don't have cash flow. So I would not expect you as a Black entrepreneur, young Black person, to have money to buy a product and then sell it. You know, because you don't have the money. So the difference is what I taught my young mentees is that build your businesses around the concept of selling an idea to people. That's why my book is called From Idea to Impact, because you must sell the idea. If the idea, let's say, is social media week, which is one of my projects, that means that you must sell the idea and get paid for the idea and get paid for your vision, get paid for your concept before you pay out the money. This concept came from the idea of, land and construction and residential estates, is that these guys who own land, they would put a beautiful picture of the residential estate and they'll say, this is how this residence will look like. But it's at the moment it's just land, there's nothing. But because you see the picture, you see the idea, you see the vision, you buy into that piece of land and they sell you for a lot of money. They'll sell you that piece of land, that 500 square meters or 700 square meters. They'll sell it to you for 2 million. But it's just land and there's nothing to it. But because you're buying into the picture, you are paying that money. And then on top of that, they say, we'll help you develop your house. You understand that those people have not spent a cent. You are the one who's paying them to do that residential estate. So the concept comes from there that, let's say if you are selling an event, it's the easiest way and the easiest thing to sell. For example, there's Chris Brown happening in December.
Yeah.
So you're already paying to get to that, but the event has not happened. So even with conferences or other special events, people pay you before it happens. So that means that you gain what you call liquidity, you gain the money, and the money allows you then to pay all the suppliers, to pay all the people, the venue, and etc., before the event happens. That means that you have liquidity before the event happens. So same as a residential estate. Just from a piece of land, you are collecting all the money. By the time you build the residences, you've collected all the money. You understand?
I hear you.
Unlike businesses, where you have to first go and buy something, pay something, then collect the money. And that's a formula I used to teach those young mentees. And most of them ran very well with that formula and became serious millionaires. And I'm just saying that there's other ways to do it. I'm just giving you one concept. There's a thing called drop shipping or e-commerce. Same thing. People buy your product online. It's not there. You have not bought that product. People pay you for that product still, and they've still not received the product. Then when they pay you, you then want to go pay the manufacturer, and then the manufacturer delivers the product to the client. That means you receive money first, and then you pay the supplier, and then the supplier delivers. And again, it works on the digital space, it works on the eventing space, it works on the property space. And that's the formula I was trying to drive to young South Africans, that you don't have to wait to have capital in order to start your business.
I hear. But I think the education system here too, I don't know, but from where I'm seated, I think it's failed us a lot because it teaches us ukuthi siqashwe, we must be employed, then creating our own employment. And if you create your own, at the ultimate end, because we are afraid of the unknown, uyasaba ukuthi yazi ngizoyithola senginey'kweletu laphana sengi-owe abantu, maybe because i-project yami igcine ingahambanga kahle. How do you deal with such situations?
You see, entrepreneurship, let's start there, is that it's not for the faint-hearted, because amajenu akho ku-entrepreneurship anzima kabi. But you have to have a thick skin. You have to be able to deal nge-pressure eziningi ezizayo. Sometimes uzohlala ungenamali, sometimes uzohlala unemali. And ama-suppliers or nama-clients, nama-whatever, they're gonna come after you. Abanye bazofuna ukubetha, abanye bazofuna ukudestroya. There's so many things that happen with the entrepreneurship. But I always get to people that you must sometimes focus on one thing. And then now to focus one thing and you've built your business and you understand the space very well, then you can move and invest in other areas. But first build that one business, know it very well, focus, so that no one can tell you anything about it. Yes, ama Europeans, nama Americans, especially Europeans, even mawuhamba estradini bazothi, there's Johnny the shoemaker, there's so and so the suit maker, because you have to be known for something. So even if uqala, let's say, business, usuka business, maybe obusebenza kuyo, but don't try not to go too far from where you were, so that you can build your profile around that, because there's nothing worse than an entrepreneur or kalala or chala or shala, because you become a hustler, and the hustler does not build you a sustainable business. As a result, you can't think long term, because awuyazi ukuthi isinkwa sakho sisuka kuphi next time, because business yakho is not structured, business yakho ayina plan, business yakho ayina direction. So rather you focus on one business, you build yourself around that one business, so that then after then right sobona ukuthi solid, then uqala ubheka amanye ama-diversification ukuthi yithi investe la. But you must not be all over the place. That's the first thing I can advise. The second thing is that, for example, mina abantu abaningi abayazi ukuthi ibhizinesi yami is simple. Mna ibhizinesi yami iyi-one, ngithengisa amatikiti. whether ngithengisa amatikiti esoccer, whether ngithengisa amatikiti e-conference, whether ngithengisa amatikiti ama-shows, I've always been in ticketing. And then after that, nga-investa kwi-technology, nga-investa kumahhotele, nga-investa
Out of selling tickets.
yes, and ama-company engiwathengile ngama-company asupporta the ticketing business, because I've got a travel agency. So ma uya showing, you need to travel. Ma uya ku-conference, you need to travel. And ngathenga amahhotela. Ma uya ku-conference, kufanele uhlale amahhotela. You know, everything is related. I'm not all over the place. So it's very important to focus, because then the chances of you failing incane, because you understand the space very well. Mina, my brother, I've failed so many times that failure is tired of me, because now I'm getting the same mistakes. Ngishayela at some stage. Ngathi at some stage, hey, Lebo, you are all over. Ngathi ngize la, focus on what I know best. And that's what has made me build the businesses the way I built them. So the art of entrepreneurship, iqala lapho, the book. It says focus. Don't be all over the place. Qala ibhizinesi yakho on a simple note, uyikhulise. Don't quit too quickly emsebenzini wakho, because what if things don't go well? So qala kancane, ubuild. Ma ubona ukuthi hey, hayi ngathi kuhamba kahle manje, then maybe you can quit. But mina angisuggest ukuthi uquit without knowing whether the business yakho is sustainable, whether abantu bazoyithenga isolution yakho, or you are focused on what you are doing and you've got ama-clients are solid. So that's my take, ukuthi for you to avoid ukuthi failure,
How to know, how to tell that now is the right time for me to quit?
when you start invoicing,
Mm.
I mean, invoicing is a source of income, right? If invoice, abantu bayateka, people are not sure about the business yakho, they're not sure about what you are trying to sell. Obviously, you can't quit in your source of income, because hey, uzoshawa kabi. Ama-debtors, nama-creditors, especially ama-creditors, they don't play. When they're after you, they'll take everything you've got. So you don't want to overexpose yourself in that regard. But Incwadi Yam talks about a number of things, right? The Art of Entrepreneurship book. It talks about how to build a solid team, how to start the business and scale the business, how to finance the business, how to finance your business from your own business, and how to source funding, short-term financing. So those things are there to guide you. And in Incwadi Yam, the most important thing, it's not a book that you must read like from beginning to end one time. In our sections that guide you, like a section on how to build a strong team. You can read that part. You don't have to read the whole book, or how to raise funding. You can read that part alone. So it's not a book ukuthi book le izangixakekisa ukuthi hey fanele ukuthi ngifune incwadi yonke. No, siyayazi ukuthi abantu abaningi, they don't like reading, especially thina abantu abamnyama asithanda ufunda. Uyabo, if they say if you want to hide any information from a black man, nikeza incwadi. So incwadi yami is broken down into pieces so that ukhona uyifunda kahle from piece to piece.
Because now I've got this opportunity of having you in a studio. I want to get something here. This thing, if you can differentiate for me between tenderpreneurship and entrepreneurship, because I think at the ultimate end siyadideka siyithole sicabanga ukuthi ukuba i-tenderpreneur kusho ukuba i-entrepreneur. What is the difference?
Well, i-tenderpreneur it's obvious ukuthi ngumuntu odiphenda kuma-tenders. Sometimes lo muntu akana-business sustainable or solid. He waits for ukuthi afumane i-directive ukuthi hey mfana kune-tender la ishaye. You know, and sometimes abanye bashaya ama-supply and delivery. Wabo, it's not really a business. It's just being opportunistic. And really, as an entrepreneur, you also have to be opportunistic. I can't say you must stop being opportunistic, because that's the nature of entrepreneurship, to be opportunistic. But you can't sustain yourself and your business on opportunism, because it's short term. Opportunities come short term. So you have to somehow build a business and a system, a business that can run for long term, a business that at some stage you don't even have to work, because a business yakho depend ukuthi kufanele kube you must be there all the time. You can't leave your business, or if you're not hustling, your business is going to collapse or your income is going to collapse. It's a problem. So you need to have a situation whereby business yakho build systems, you build structures, you build employees. You must have people that work there, so that after a long time, you can disappear for 2 months and the business will still run. Even if anything happens for you and you die, your children can still run the business on you, because we build a system amaning. So entrepreneur does not necessarily allow you to do that unless you make a lot of money. Then uthathe la mali and maybe you invest in a franchise, or you invest in a business that may be ongoing and take over a business. Then you get involved in the business. Then it's sustainable. It can be sustainable. So
If you are running a business, you should be in a position to go out and play golf.
of course, it's running, because that means that you're not working in the business, you're working on the business. It means that you are now a business owner, but you're not self-employed. There's a difference. Most self-employed, it means that you can't leave that office, because if you leave that office and you go out for a week, akuzoshuma.
Fall apart.
You understand? That means in that way, that means you are self-employed. You're not really running a business. A business must have an MD, must have a CEO that you employ, must have a marketing director, a finance director. And when you as the entrepreneur, you need to be the chairman. You need to be that guy who overlooks and gives strategic direction. Okay. But you can't employ those people in that business if you don't know the business yourself.
How to address ifiye yokuhluleka ebhizinisini, ukuthi I have to start afresh, and there are these people abesebebukela kuwena, busuyi-example to other people, and now business is not doing well.
Yeah.
Sadly so, things like COVID trickling in and all that stuff. And then what do you do to
That's usually the challenging part,
Yeah.
Mali business, yes. And because sometimes you position is solid, we DG or national director of this and that, corporate, or you're the marketing director controlling these millions and controlling this budget, and everyone was sucking up to you. Manje, you're on the other side. Awunanyuku, uzama uthatha from whatever you saved to qala business le, and you robbing Peter to pay Paul. Kunamankinga nje amaningi. But you know, sometimes when you've got a vision and you believe in yourself and you believe in the idea, you are going to go through sunshine, storm, rain, and abantu abaningi bazokuhleka, bazokubheka le bhari, icabanga ukuthi yini 1 2 3, ibelenzani, lisuka kwijob comfortable. And yes, abantu abaningi obubasupporta as a marketing director, ubanikeza umsebenzi, ubanikeza ibhizinesi, suddenly bazorun away because bazobona lo muntu uyinkinga manje. He's always calling us for us to support his business. And the sad part is that abantu abaningi obubasupporta, they're going to turn your back against you. You're going to feel like you're on your own, and that no, people were using you because you had budget. The main thing there is to keep yourself focused. And in business yako, even the idea uqalayo,
But
it's not
the
gonna.
question, how do you do that, Mr. Kongoloza? How to keep yourself together when things are
Are
the
falling
storm is
apart
right
and the
here,
storms are-
things are falling apart, your friends
Yeah.
are
A few.
leaving you, and everything is out of control.
Yeah. So you have to reduce cost ako. The cost of
Selling
living,
cars.
the cost of life, the cost of this, so that you can be super focused on the idea. Because the problem is that if you want to live a flashy lifestyle and yet you're starting something new, you're going to collapse and you're going to be back at work again. You have to reduce cost ako. You have to reduce your lifestyle so that you can be able to focus on the core of what you are about.
Mm.
Invest in every single thing that's related to what you are trying to do so that you can see your business starting to take shape. You
Mm.
have to know how much clientele you can still work with to build your business so that they are the ones who are building, who are paying you most. So all your energy must be on the people that are paying you. And then you must increase your trust with them. You must increase your delivery to them. You must bring excellence to them so that what? They can give you what you call repeat business.
Yeah.
More they start giving you repeat business, Margie, you are growing your brand, you are growing your business. And you must also come to podcasts like these ones and start talking about your business. Go to radio interviews so that you can gain more clientele.
Mm.
And as you get more clientele, guess what? Your confidence is growing, your business is growing. Now, when you start being out there and those people are watching you succeed, watch them start coming back to your life.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
and then the sad part
But,
about
but
business.
one thing, I'm sorry to interject, Mr. Kongolus, but one thing that I want to find out too, how do you differentiate between imali business, nemali yakho, a personal in business? Because at the ultimate end, I believe that's the mistake. Esiyenzayo thina as
It all boils down to
I'm a small
discipline.
business.
Let's start there. It all boils down to discipline. But the point that I wanted to make sure with the last point is that most of your friends at the beginning won't support you. Just know that. They won't. In fact, they'll be laughing at you more than anything else. They'll think, "Oh, what does he think he's doing?" It's mainly strangers that will support because they don't know you. They're just buying on you because they like the business that you are providing. I'm not friends when I want you to give them things for free. They're gonna want your service to come at no cost or for free but I'm gonna want but whether uyangazi ngiyakwazi it why in case this business for free or in case whatever you are selling for free. So it will be mainly strangers, and that's the first part. Second part, which is the question that you're asking, ukuthi my mali ingena good business, uzoba nama-pressures, ama-school fees, and what. And when you see this 100,000, uzothi, hayi man, le 100,000 ngiyayicontrola mos. So why can't I just use it to pay
Take the
my apartment or my house or whatever? So you have to always try to be disciplined enough to say you are going to pay yourself a salary, right? But I would not even suggest that you pay yourself too much salary because that's a taxer. Rather, you put certain parts of your life into the business so that they are taken care of by the business. Then when you separate what is critical, that is very personal, to be taken care of by the salary. But you have to differentiate so that kungabi nama-clashes because both areas, they involve the taxman.
Yeah,
You understand? Yeah, and then you have to manage it very well, and you have to also work with a very good accountant so that you separate and understand the implications of both sides in your business.
Because it takes many ingozi. Podcast affirmation sihleli no Lebo Kunguluza bale incwadi yethi Out of Entrepreneurship. Uzoyithola le ncwadi siyatholakala. I believe they're online sizotholakala soon.
Izotholakala next month online
Izotholakala
because we just want to make sure that abantu abaningi bahlala in very far areas and siyafuna ukuthi download. So we're gonna make sure that it's easy to download. This book really is more about the basics of entrepreneurship. You understand? But the art of entrepreneurship now brings the element where ngikhuluma about starting a business without funding, without financing. That's the art part. Because but it khuluma basics of entrepreneurship. But the art part is now how to become a millionaire or a multi-millionaire without any funding. That's the art part. Because you can sit at
How
home.
to go about doing that without funding? How to start a business without funding?
That's what I explained at the beginning. Ukuthi, avoid businesses where you have to put money first before you can make the money. Sell the idea first. Let people buy into the idea and pay you for your services through the idea. Yabo. And then after that, then you take that money to deliver that idea or to deliver that service or to deliver that product. Because once you prioritize Guti to raise money to pay for the product first and then sell it, you might end up in debt. Because the loan that you borrow to pay for that product is still going to haunt you. Uyangizwa kahle?
I hear you.
So what you want to do, you want your clients to become the funders. You want abathenga your product to become the funders of your business because you don't have to pay them back. But if you get a loan to buy products so you can sell them, you are already in debt. And that's not where you want to start in business. You don't want to start your business with debt. But abantu abaningi, there are some businesses that require them to start with debt. Like for example, in mining, it's very capital intense. There you need capital to start. You see, and that capital that you need to start, you have to be very sure that the product that you're going to sell is definitely going to cover that capital. But if you're not sure, I would rather you do not put yourself in debt. Can I make an example of a situation? This guy, he wanted to buy shoes from India, saying that these shoes are very cheap and he's looking for a loan. He goes, he gets a loan and he gets a warehouse. He goes and orders those shoes from India. They come direct to his warehouse. So now he's got a loan for the warehouse and he's got a loan for the shoes. And guess what? The shoes did not sell. Now he's stuck with shoes that are not selling. He's stuck with the warehouse where he's putting in, he's in debt twice. He's in debt with the money that he borrowed, and he's also in debt with the shoes that he bought and the warehouse. Now, can you imagine that he did not make sure that the product that he's selling is definitely out there for the market and that people are loving it? But the person who was smart is a friend of mine, Theo. Theo made sure that he gets a sample of the shoes. He makes sure that people are liking the shoes first. He put it in an e-commerce platform. He made people order the shoes. Then with the money that he used to order the shoes, he got the products because he already saw the demand. And then he sent the product to the marketplace.
Smart
That
guy.
was smart.
Smart guy. Sizwe Plus eqindayo kwi-podcast affirmation sesengasemaphethelweni enkulumo yethu. Namhlanje sivakashela uLebo Gunguluza and ngicela usilandele laphana ey'nkundleni zokuxhumana kwi-podcast affirmation page laphana ku-Facebook where we command a 2.7 million followers. Keep on keeping on, keep on supporting the page and uye laphana kwi-YouTube page yethu la uzothola khona le nkulumo bese sidlala kulamaviki alandelayo ozoyibona. Ngicabanga ukuthi iyafundisa kakhulu, enze isiqiniseko sokuthi you tell your friends to tell their friends ukuthi they must watch this one, especially those abafuna ukungena ebhizinisini bangakhohlwa nokuyothenga incwadi kaLebo ephumile namhlanje itholakala la eThekwini, sazotholakala la online, ithi nje Art of Entrepreneurship. Kubalulekile ukuba entrepreneur, awuyibizeli ikoliti le.
Yes, as an entrepreneur, yes, obviously you control your own time. Isikhathi sakho ngesakho. You don't report to no one. You report to yourself. But mina into engiyi-advisayo kuma-entrepreneurs is that sometimes because asazi, we don't know much about entrepreneurship. No one, our parents were never entrepreneurs, you know.
Yeah.
So manje kufanele ukuthi i-entrepreneurship siyifundiswe estratweni. You know, like white people, for example, always had an advantage about entrepreneurship because their parents have run businesses from 1930, 1910, 1980, and they're the ones who own most of these buildings here. They're the ones who own most of these shops. Now you drop in 80, 70%, 80% the Sandton, 80% of all the small cities are owned by white people, those businesses. So they've grown in that culture. But us, we have to now learn fast. And you learn also without any capital. you get my point.
And
So
I heard ukuthi bona bebeqala amabhizinisi vele
with capital,
useno-300,000
yeah, yes,
ukuthi aqale wena uqala ku-zero
when I like
phakathi.
zero. So when you have to learn now how to start a business without money,
Mm.
and that's what I'm promoting in the book. That's what I'm pushing in the book. How do you start your business without money? But also how to raise money. Because remember, I must be fair. I must say yes, you can start your business without money, but I must also teach you how to raise money, which is all in the book.
How to
So
keep it as well.
and also how to keep it, how to grow the business. So konke lokho are on the book, because it's very, very important that we understand ukuthi sonke guys we come ekusokoleni, all of us. And I grew a business from nothing, from negative into what it is today. You understand?
No,
But
yeah.
I did not get any funding, but in the process I learned funding there and there, but I've also shared on how I did it.
So this thing of waiting for a government doesn't work sometimes. Forget about the government.
I-government yes inama-rules ayo, inama-restrictions ayo, inama-bureaucracy ayo. So if you're going to wait for the government, it's not very wise, because you will never start. Yabo? Start, and no ideas come fully formed. As you go along, uzobona ukuthi no man, this thing, it doesn't have to wait for funding.
Yeah.
You can run. I mean, entrepreneurship is very easy, guys. If mina gine skill and you ask me to fix your computer, I fix your computer, you pay me. That's entrepreneurship. So why do you have to wait for funding?
Sihlali naye uLebo Gunguluza sikhuluma ezamabhizinisi ama-young entrepreneurs. People who are afraid of the unknown, uthi ayikho lento, wena ngena uzame bowushayekile futhi ube broke uqale phansi uyiphushe indaba yakho, but enza isiqiniseko sokuthi uyawa-avoida ama-friends kuyo yonke into, ngoba ama-friends akho ngathi ayingozi ngeke akusupport, but akhona supportanayo.
Yes, of course. Akona supporter, akona the ones that are really conscious of your effort, that you are trying to make a living. But most of my friends are my favors. I'll be very honest with you. They will see that you are trying, but umuntu uzothi, but fuck it. You know, I'm your friend. Why are you doing this to me?
Dlala ibhola le-Pirates, uyaziwa ukuthi nawe ushaye ukuthi wenza imali. Le game le Stelis fanele uzothi bese ngicela amathikithi, hayi just amathikithi e-VIP.
Of course. And umuntu ufuna uwafumana for free from you. But when you bought them, so when you are reselling, wabo, now manje yena ufuna ama-ticket of this. So not only are you losing, but you're also not making profit. So a compromise. So that's why ngithi sometimes the business yakho grows a lot from strangers, people who don't know you from a bar of soap. And also it's always important to try, once a business, try to do a business that esebenzisana nabantu abaningi who are customers, rather than depend on customers are 3 or 4 only to support your business or to sustain your business. Because if you depend on 3 or 4 clients, if 2 of them decide that they're dropping you, where are you now?
Asivale Lebo, ngicabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe singa-check-a ama-hot takes. Ngifuna uku-check-a nje ukuthi you prefer to work from home or office?
Mina personally, I am a digital guy, so I work from anywhere. But working from home, working from office, to me does not make any difference, because I can work anywhere in the world, because most of my businesses are very digital. They're digital, these e-commerce businesses, so they're global.
So isithithile i-COVID or isifailile ngokwakho?
Yeah, so COVID has taught us a lot about being virtual. So I think the whole country understood the concept of working virtually, which is exactly what I was saying, that now our meetings manje are done via Zoom. You don't have to travel, you don't have to incur those petrol costs to meet people. Now you can meet people anywhere in the world. I could be in Dubai, I could be sitting in Maldives, and I could still be having a meeting with anyone.
Morning person or night owl?
I work very well at night because it's quiet, and then but I also sometimes I'm terrible at waking up early. In the past, I used to wake up early.
Yeah.
I used to work from 4 o'clock in the past, But because now some bits of my businesses are back in entertainment, because I've invested back in the entertainment space, so most of the time I work at night because even my some of my businesses require me to be there at night, and yeah, so I sleep very late now. So I no longer have that opportunity to wake up early in the morning.
Work smart or work hard?
Of course, work smart. I mean, that's what the innovation is about. That's why I'm very big on AI, artificial intelligence. I'm huge on AI because I believe that innovation makes things very easy. Yenza my efficiency is much better. As a result, you work for less time and you produce more. So most people, I always tell them that the reason why I'm having so much fun in my life now is because of innovation. Because abantu bangibuza mama wakhulisa wena, why all the time so uyagroova umnandi, ngithi because systems are working for me.
Ngiyakuzwa. Social media or uprefera ilokhuzana i-word of mouth?
I think social media is a lot more powerful because social media uyakhona i-narrative yakho uyakhona uyibeka the way you want. Unlike word of mouth, abantu sometimes you could have delivered something very well and something very good, but because bane-issue nawe as a person or whatsoever, or umuntu akhulume kabi, but in social media you are able to capture the content the way you want, and you are able to sell the content the way you want, and place the content the way. So you are much more in control the social media. But word of mouth is also very good because it's genuine, but sometimes abantu banama agendas who are not in line with your success. So you never know what they will say. But at least in social media you're in control of the narrative and the output.
Ibhakabhaka or Amakhosi, that's the last one.
Mina, neither of them. Mina bengisebenza noPatrice for a while, a long time ago, Mutsipe, and I got to obviously understand his vision, and then I got to be a Sandawana. So I'm a Sandawana, so mangibukela Chiefs net Pirates, I'm quite affected. Ngiyawazi ama-emotions avela lapho are too much, but I'm a Sandawana. I've been a Sandawana ever since the time that I worked with him.
Sibonge isikhathi sivakashele lebo. Bathathini ama-parting shots, ama-concluding remarks nje.
Yeah, I'm concluding remarks that mawuqala business, don't wait for the perfect time, because there's never a perfect time. None of the businesses eziqaliwe where they are when they started. Most of the businesses baqala with a small idea. So, for example, Facebook, qala as the Facebook as a student thing, but look where it is now. You see, Ama Instagram started as a picture thing. Look where it is now. About WhatsApps, all these things that you're enjoying never started the way. If you read more about those things where they started, they are nowhere close to where they were about when they started. So even Amazon, waqala as a bookshop online, but bheka manje uthengisa anywhere and everything in the world. So uma uqala i-idea qala, and then as you go along uzofunda ukuthi no, this is what people need more than this, and this is what people want more than that. As a result, you start building your business around what people need and what clients need, and then you'll be amazed. You'll end up with a great business that's even bigger than you, and you never thought it would go that direction, but it's because you started.
It's a matter of thinking beyond the boundaries. I think that's what Ulebo is saying. To think beyond the boundaries, and then ubusuyasihlukana nefear. Don't be
Yeah.
scared of something. Don't
you
be
learn
afraid
along
of
the
the
way.
unknown.
Yeah.
Wanna try your luck. You'll never know.
Yeah.
Don't you dare do what I already do. If you did, please take pictures. See you in 7.